Good evening and welcome to Thfc Till I Die. Let me take Ellie off mute so she'll be able to speak. There we go. Ellie's off now. No, Ellie's back on mute. Hang on, let me take her off. Anyway, good evening and welcome to Thfc.
You don't want the queen on mute, do you?
No. Well, that's debatable.
Sorry,
right. Good evening and welcome to Thfc Till I Die, the home of Spurs from past to present. Ellie, be careful, I've got the mute button. With me tonight, we're doing the post-match to the Tottenham versus Sporting Lisbon game, and Jesus, what a game it was. With me is my usual co-host, Queen Ellie Hoybier, who we'll go into it later, actually, what happened to Ellie at the game, which, for me, I'm finding it very disturbing, but we will get into that. And down below, well, he's been known by many names. Shamu in the chat's calling him Burt Reynolds. I mean, me and Ellie call him the Godfather. I mean, this man does more travelling than our own Taoiseach and Taoiseach have put together. He is the one, he is the only, Philip Brady. I'm going to start with you, Philip. Where are you today in the goddamn world are you, sir? And how are you?
I'm sitting in the port of Boston, Massachusetts. It's 3:10 on a beautiful Thursday afternoon. The sun, that's why I've got sunglasses and a hat on, because the sun is just beaming down here, as opposed to the rain showering down on you lot at home.
Yeah, it's pretty nippy out here in Enfield.
He really rubs it in, doesn't he? You know, he just really rubs it in.
He really does.
Oh yeah, but we've gone through fog and cold weather for the last 4 days, so this is nice today.
My heart bleeds, Philip. My heart bleeds.
Oh, thanks, I really appreciate that.
Oh, Lord. We've had more rain over here in the last 48 hours than anything. I think we've had enough. I think the farmers will be happy for the rest of the year for the amount of rain we've had.
Oh, don't worry, there'll be a drought warning out next Friday.
That's the funny thing, Philip. That is the funny thing. And next to me is the one and only lovely Queen Ellie Hoybier. Ellie, with our guns out, how are you this evening, my dear?
I'm gunning for Eric Dyer.
Aren't we all?
Sorry, Eric, I'm not really. What I'm after is a really good show where we're all being honest and fair at the same time. And if we're not fair, let's be unfair. I'm sure Phil's got a few unfair comments to say.
That's so true. Philip, did you get to watch the game last night, or did you kidnap the captain of the ship? How did you get around it?
No, he locked himself in the bridge. You couldn't get in near him. No, unfortunately, they were showing the Barcelona Bayern Munich game here. So I was relying heavily on David and Jack and Sean's watch along, which I'm telling you, I had to put my headphones on because they were shouting that loud on us. And the language now wasn't great, I have to say. But I could get the gist of what was going on, especially in the first half. Second half was a bit better. And I've been kind of following it ever since on social media and picking up on things. And I have to say, I'm absolutely disgusted by the way that game finished. Absolutely disgusted. I've never seen a decision as bad or as convoluted as that. And given by the same fella, the same VAR official that gave Liverpool a penalty in the Champions League final 3 years ago.
Right.
It's as if he had it in for Spurs and he was not going to let go last night.
He must be a gooner. He must be a gooner, isn't he? He must be.
What he is.
But anyway,
or an Ajax fan with a long memory. Yeah.
He's either a gooner or a word beginning with a C.
Yeah, well, that's just more that.
I just think he ate too many mushrooms. He's from Holland, so I think mushrooms are very, very popular this time of year. Either that or he was on something he shouldn't have been on. But anyway, let's go through the chat quickly while we're here before we get ourselves into any more problems. Me. Come on. Is it come up? I can't. If you can see the God, StreamYard's not working tonight.
Bit like the referee last night.
Yeah. the comments just will not come up for some apparent reason. Ellie, I don't know if you can press the comments up on your iPad, can you, for me? Get the comments to come up.
Yeah, I can do them.
Yeah,
right,
can
so
you press them up?
Spurs.
No, can you do it? Just press them on. Just press them so they come up on the screen. Oh, here we go. Got them. It's all right. It's working now.
Yeah, you got them? Good.
Hang on.
Do you want me to read them, or are you going to read them?
No, if I bring them up, you read them, Ellie. Yeah.
So we've got Nick Coupland, evening Ellie and Dermot, and Philip as well, because obviously he didn't see you there in your sunglasses, undercover. David Clark says, hi from Leicester, from a Spurs fan who actually knew the rule change, but prayed that Kane was not in an offside position by millimetres. That is very true, David.
Yeah, and it was 1978. I've actually done my research, David, on the casting. I've got a World Cup book at home, and I've gone through the research. So I will get the proof up for you in the next thing. Who we've been joined by? Oh, Philip's joining us twice here.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm in stereo.
Do you know what? I'm going to leave that picture up of you, Philip, because you look really disgruntled.
We're not worthy twice.
Oh, you took it down.
Oh my God. Please forgive people in the chat and laugh, aren't we?
Yeah. Go on. Shamu here, Ellie.
Right, Shamu Van Spurs, robbed. Mind you, that sporting player missed an open goal to make it 2-0. Can't even celebrate a goal anymore. True. Yeah. I was celebrating so well. Nick Coupland says, forget the offside. We were horrendous for 65 minutes. A disgrace. Conte looked defeated. Fair enough. Fair comment.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So we got Atta Varosh Wembley 1. Good evening, everyone. Watching the goal incident at the end, as it happened, I thought there was something about it that didn't look quite right, though wasn't sure what it was.
We will be getting into that. I have my own views on this, and I know Philip has, and I know Ellie has, and also one presenter from Philip's favourite radio station that he loves listening to. He wakes up early to listen to it every day. He said something on there this morning, which I am still in disbelief he said it. But anyway, we'll get into that.
Okay,
Ella,
David Clark. Well, that's me. Ellie, do you think Naz will become a top player? With a lot of coaching, yes. Nothing against Naz, but she needs a little bit of work. Mm-hmm. I've got an eye for a player. She's got talent. Talent. Just needs a bit more coaching in terms of her positional play and pressing as well. She needs to press a bit more. But she's got the potential, just put it that way. So Shamu Van Spurs says Naz's quality. I agree with you. She just needs a little bit more around the edges.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Because you can't just be talented and not work hard. Don't worry, he'll be back.
He will be back.
Andrew Gregory, evening guys. That's me as well. I'm one of the guys. Right? I must add that.
This is where I got Philip's intro from. I think that's brilliant.
Shamu Bassford. Is that Burt Reynolds at the bottom? Yes, it is.
It was.
He's gone now. He's gone to chat up some women. Right. So we've got.
Be careful, be careful, Ellie. Mrs. Brady could be watching. Apparently.
True.
We need to put apparently. We need to put apparently in, Ellie.
Yeah, it's a disclaimer. At Chevron, Wembley 1, we were so horrendous for the first hour that a draw was more than fair to us. A win would have been robbery and papered over some huge cracks in our play. Very true. Very true.
I've just seen what Dave's put in the chat.
David Harris or David Clark?
David Harris.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't start laughing.
I'll tell you one thing. That is comment off the screen.
So Shamu Van Spurs, we'll get to David's comment in a minute. Shamu Van Spurs says, big up, Philip. You're a legend, mate. You are. Yeah. Where's your sunglasses gone? Right. David Clark, I'd love to be back walking in my beloved Epping Forest. That's not too far away from me.
It's lovely. I tell you one thing, Ellie, it's quite nice up there actually in Epping Forest, actually.
Yeah, the only thing people get chopped up and put in there. So sorry about that. Right, David Clark, at least Arsenal lost tonight. Sorry. Yeah, that means lost tonight.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Philip looked like he was in the do you know them things in the kitchens like a larder? He looked like he was in the larder there.
He's gone again. It's because he's on a boat, isn't it? He's on not a boat.
This for me, ladies and gentlemen, is the comment of the stream. And now Philip is back with us. Are you with us, Philip?
Is he with us?
Can you hear us?
Philip, are you there?
You never guessed right. I'm sitting on the toilet in the shower. It's the coolest place in the room. My phone overheated and switched off. So I had to come to
you know what? If you put your sunglasses on, Philip,
it's continuing. No, I can't see a thing with the sunglasses on, so at least I can see things. It's a lovely shower.
Come on, this is a serious YouTube channel, guys. Come on, let's get ourselves together. Yeah, let's get ourselves together.
Do you want me to read it, or are you going to read it, Dermot?
Okay. Dave, hang on, where is it? Hang on. Here we go. I've got it here now. Here we go. I've got it here now.
Philip frozen. No, he's not. He's boiling. Not frozen.
Yeah. Who is Vanilla Rice on the bottom? You're Vanilla Rice. You know who that is, don't you, Philip? Vanilla Rice. You know who he is. He's a rapper.
Yeah, the rapper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Wouldn't be my type of music.
No. But I tell you one thing, Dave.
I could do with the Vanilla Ice.
If you are watching, Dave, we're getting some views of Philip's ship. I tell you, we've seen now the bathroom, we've seen his balcony, we've seen the bedroom, we've seen his hallway. Next thing we're getting the stream from the brig itself. So Philip taking it over.
I'm actually sitting with my feet up on the towel rail, leaning against the wall. Shows you how small the bathrooms are.
Yeah, it does. Big up, Dave, and everyone get over to the Irish Hotspur. He starts, I think, in about half an hour, but please get over there.
Should we get through the comments? Should we get through some of these comments? To move down Spurs, I think it's the former CCR manager, David.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Right. David Clark says, look, I've supported Spurs since 1961, and under the new rule, that was 100% offside. Yeah,
I disagree.
There you go.
I don't think anyone knows what the new rule is. That's the problem.
Mm.
You know,
okay, they can only go by the rules.
What the criteria for offside is now. Yeah. Everyone seems to have a different version of it.
Yeah, true.
That's so true.
So Shamu Van Spur says, clear and obvious, so nope. Vic Coupland says, evening, Philip. Evening, Philip.
No.
Paul Brand. Dermot, good evening. Come on, you Spurs.
Good evening.
Lovely, Paul. Good comment.
Mark
New. Hello, Mark.
Yeah.
I know Mark from the Irish Hotspur. Big up, Ellie and Dermatron. I've seen another angle with a better view of Harry. 100% he was onside. VAR took so long to try to find a viewpoint further away that looks as if Harry may be offside. There you go, you've got it. He was onside.
Yeah.
Shamu Brand Spurs. Dermot is done. Ha ha ha.
Once I start laughing, I that's it. That's it. I'm gone.
It goes into overdrive when he's laughing.
I tell you one thing, there's a funny story. This is true. I was doing this stream with Kuva once, and I was laughing that much, I nearly passed out live on stream. Kuva, all he saw me was my head going this way, right? And Kuva was going the other way. So there's both of us going in opposite direction. We just could not stop laughing over something. I just nearly passed out. I was laughing that hard. It's good. I just anything really funny, I just go. I'm like watching comedians. I just keep going. And Shimo, I want to stream from the ship wheel.
Tell I'm working on it.
There you go. I tell you what, if the last
I'm
stream,
working on it.
see can the captain get you up to where he is, and see can you do a stream from there? I'm sure the captain would if you tell him you're live on YouTube to nearly 700.
Well, he's a Croatian. He's a Croatian, so maybe he knows Luka Modric. I support the same team that Luka Modric would play for. He might let me up, you know.
Yeah.
But then again, he's probably an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, probably. But listen, big up to everyone in the chat. Ellie, brilliant reading them out. Thank you so much. That's so much easier. You doing it. You're a gem.
There's one I missed though. Shamu Van Spurs. I want a stream from the ship wheel.
Yeah.
Come on then. Get over to the captain ship wheel, Philip.
Yeah.
Come on. Get a move on.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Just let me put Philip up at the top there so everyone can see Philip. Nobody needs to see me. So Philip's up top. We've got Peter and big up everyone. 1 point against Marseille, aka River Retirement Home for X.
Rivera.
We go forward.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, we can't settle for 1 point. We need to win this group. We need to win the group.
Yeah. Shamu big up Philip. That would be epic. As to wear the hat to add Captain Brady to the name list.
Yeah. Oh,
tell him you know. What's that there, Ellie?
What's that? Tell him. Show him you know Matajasevic. He might know one of the family. Is that your surname, Shamu? It must be his surname. I think I pronounced that right. Matajasevic. Matajasevic.
Yeah, Nick Cookland's put the Champions League love last night means they made more money. Yeah, we are going to get onto that.
Yeah.
We've got Peter M. I agree. We must win it at the Velodrome. Yeah. And Shamu go.
Yeah.
Look, one thing about the game at the Velodrome is going to be half close to Marseille fans, so it isn't going to be this very much are surrounded of noise. It's going to be half closed, I think, as part of their punishment.
Yeah.
But look, this was the team.
They're still nutters.
They are nutters.
They only need 10 people in the ground to be louder than us Spurs fans.
Yeah.
Because we're quiet sometimes.
Yeah. The players in white are the ones that were okay, but seem to get away with a bit of criticism. The players in blue are the ones that I want to be dropped on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Well,
yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, so we got a draw with 6, basically.
Yeah.
I don't agree with Lloris. We should keep Lloris in.
No, Ellie. No, I'm sorry.
No. I don't agree with you. Sorry.
Ellie,
I love Lloris.
Yeah, Ellie. He did his Benny Hill moment last night again.
Yeah,
running out of his area. Right.
Yeah, but he didn't lose the ball.
Ellie, he did.
He didn't, because what happened? The player crossed it. He tried to tackle him, and the player crossed it, and it went nowhere.
Yeah, but
if he didn't do that, the player would have been right through.
But Ellie shouldn't have been out there in the first place.
He should, because there was no defender, right? So he was doing the sweeper's role, right? And he put the player off, and the player crossed it long, so he done the right job in my view.
Yeah, but Ellie, he cannot play. He shouldn't be out there.
He can't play sweeper.
No.
Yeah, no, he had to, though. He had to do that. He had to be sweeper then. Otherwise, the player would have been clean through on goal.
Yeah,
so he stopped him getting through. And that player is nipping.
Yeah, well, we're going to get into that, Ellie.
That's my own personal opinion.
Yeah, no, your opinion is accepted, and I respect your opinion, but I have to respectively disagree. But as you're the queen of this channel, you go first on your player rating. So go on.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to give Lloris a 7 because he didn't do much wrong. I don't think that coming out was wrong. I think it was right because our defence was caught napping. So he put the player off and he done a shit cross. Right. So I'm going to give him a 7 because he done 3 really good saves as well, which people forget. We know his kicking is rubbish, so 7 is a fair result. Right, Romero, I'm going to give an 8. Yeah, because he played very, very well. Dyer, I'm going to give a 3 because he was useless as usual, and he missed 3 open goals, especially that header that he put wide. Rubbish. Davis, I'm going to give a 3 as well. Rubbish. Doherty, I'm going to give a 4. He did try, but he just hasn't got it in him to be good. Sorry. Højbjerg, I'm going to give a 6, right, because he wasn't at his best. Bentancur, I'm going to give an 8. Actually, I'm going to give him an 8.5. 8.5, because he was our best player on the night. Perisic, I'm going to give a 7, because he did some nice crosses, led to the goal, one of them, and he was trying his best to beat his man. Sometimes the man blocked it. Yeah, so he was trying. He was doing all these step overs and everything. Right, who else we got? Son and Kane. Son, it's hard for him because he did try, but nothing came off for him. I'll give him a 6, and Kane I'll give a 6 as well, because they tried, but they were just huffing and puffing and not blowing the house down. Yeah.
So
they
that's
weren't at their best. Put it that way.
Yeah. You, Philip, what's your play ratings for the?
Well, as is, I didn't see the matches as due to circumstances beyond my control, but having watched, listened to watch social media and watched highlights on other platforms since, I don't think it's fair for me to give fair scores for the team, to be honest. But I will give the refereeing party a score.
Yeah,
and that is 0.
That's been generous.
Well, I could give him a minus, wouldn't register. I just give him a minus because it seems to me that the guy on VAR, people are aware that back in 2019, he's the idiot that gave the penalty against Liverpool in the Champions League final.
Yeah.
Penalty that never should have been and that determined the outcome of the match. And there again, tonight he's done it again, or last night he's done it again. He's either a gooner or a disaffected Ajax fan who hasn't forgiven us for the semi-final in 19 yet.
Probably.
But whatever it is, he should A, get a new pair of glasses, B, learn the rules, or C, get another job.
Yeah.
Preferably the latter one.
Yeah. And I've just realised. Yeah, and I've also just realised. Yeah, and I've also just realised that lineup is not correct because Lucas isn't in there. I've just realised.
Oh yeah, Lucas, I'll give a 6.5.
Yeah, I've just realised I forgot to put Lucas in there. I've done the.
I didn't even notice.
I didn't even know. That's how much he made in an appearance.
That's the impression he made. All I could hear on David and Jack's channel last night was screaming at Lucas, "You go past the man when you do something with the ball." God almighty, the poor fella's getting the ears listening to all this.
There was one time he beat 2 men and he smacked it across the 6-yard box so hard that none of our players could get it. And I was thinking, just roll it across. So they got a chance to slot it in. There was 3 players waiting to slot it home.
Sessegnon's been doing that regularly recently, getting to the byline and smashing it across instead of just dinking it into the middle for the boys to get hold of.
Mm. Yeah, they haven't got a deft touch.
No.
No.
This right. I'm going to give my player lineup now. Ellie, look, I got a very good comment there from before I do. Very good comment here from Rob Belcher. Big up, Rob. I don't think you've seen you in the chat before, but welcome to THFC till I die, and I hope to see you more and get your comments in. Get your player ratings in too, all in the chat as well. He says, this is for you, Ali. It says, Lloris has been a great servant of that. There is no doubt. And I don't think nobody can dispute that. But recently, his distribution has been poor, which is so important in today's game. Give Foster a go. That's what he says, Ellie. What do you say?
What I would say to that, Foster's distribution is no better, if not worse, because I've seen him, right? So I can forgive Lloris's distribution because he's a fantastic goalkeeper all round. And he's had the 3rd or 4th best record in the Premiership in terms of, with that defence, remember, with Dyer and Davis in front of him. and he's still coming third or fourth in the league table for amount of goals conceded, and he's had a lot of clean sheets. So you've got to look at his record as a whole. The kicking, I agree, it's not good. Everybody knows that of Lloris. It's not good. So, but I can forgive him that because he makes up for it in other areas.
Right. Well, look,
I think the problem we have with the. I was just going to say that the problem we have with Lloris at the moment is the game has evolved in the last 10 years since he came to Spurs. It's now play out from the back, and unfortunately, he's a great shot stopper and he's been a great servant, but his distribution has always been suspect, and it's now under the microscope even more because of the way teams play out. You know, so exactly. And I think you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So I think it's too late for him to earn it. Like I love Hugo to bits, but I do think he's in the swan song. He's in the twilight of his career at Spurs, if you like. Now we have to look to replace him in the summer.
That I do agree with. That I do agree with. It's his last real season that he's going to be able to stay at Spurs. Because Spurs will be looking at other goalies. Yeah, I do agree with that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to
I can see him being there next season, but
I don't know. I think maybe Spurs will look elsewhere. Like at the student probably.
This is my play ratings now. I'm going to give Lloris a 4. He should have saved that goal. I mean, he was at fault for the goal completely. And also, I know Ellie, you don't agree, but look, I'm sorry.
I was right behind that goal.
He was at fault for the goal. He should have saved it. I mean, it trickled in, so he's at fault for that. His distribution.
Marcus Edwards won. Marcus Edwards' goal. That was the only goal. Yeah. Sorry. No, I don't agree with that. Sorry.
Well, sorry, Ellie. I'm sorry. Look.
It's a good shot. It's a very good shot. Right into the bottom corner.
Anyway, I'm going to give Lloris a 5, Romero a 6, Dyer a fucking 1 because he was fucking dead dog shit. Davis a 2 because he was dog shit and all. As for Doherty, I'm going to give him a -3 because he was fucking useless. Højbjerg, I'm going to give Højbjerg a 6. I think he tried. But there was a couple of runs in the second half where he just drove forward, and I thought that's him at his best. Bentancur, I'm going to give him an 8. He was man in the match in that midfield. He was fantastic last night.
Brilliant.
Perisic, I'm going to give him a 4. Sonny, I'm going to give a 5, and Kane, I'm going to give a 5. Took the goal well, I must admit. Kane's winner took it well. But for me, Bentancur, the way he got up for his goal with the header was fantastic. But look, I'm going to start. That's my thing. But the players in blue, they need to be dropped for Saturday. I'm sorry, Ellie. I know.
Who's got to be dropped?
Lloris, Dyer. Lloris, hang on. Sorry, Philip. I'll bring you back now. Sorry. Got that one up there. Lloris, Dyer, Davis, and Doherty all have to be dropped for Saturday. I don't care.
I agree with Dyer and Davis, but not Lloris.
The three Ds, the 3 degrees. They certainly need to go. Matt Doherty, I'm very disappointed in. He's got to have every chance, and he hasn't taken it. Davis is living on the comfort of his new contract. He's in the comfort zone. He doesn't need to try. And Dyer, I think, has just played himself out of the England squad for the World Cup. So that's it.
And they're thinking of giving that man a new contract. What the fuck are they thinking about at the team? They're thinking of giving a useless fucking article a new contract. Seriously.
I know.
Seriously.
They all should go to QPR. That's what I say.
But no, Ellie, you get no peace then. Your husband will be giving out full time about them. Then you get no peace.
He'll be divorcing me.
Yeah. But can I say one thing? You know what? Who I regard as being should be the first name, apart from Bentancur, should be the first name on the team sheet for Saturday. Is Brian Hill.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, look, I've got a question about him. I've got a question about him actually in the question, and I'll start at him, Philip, and I will start with you on that. We've got Jirula, big up Jirula. Love seeing you in chat. Ellie's always great with the comments.
Come on, Jirula.
Always big up Jirula. Sorry, I'm just going to say Auntie Ellie is wrong tonight. So me and Auntie Ellie may be arguing, which I love. I love me and Ellie arguing because it is good.
Right. Lloris is a brilliant goalkeeper. Sorry. He's fantastic.
Okay,
I love him. Right. He's kicking, but as a goalkeeper, he's fabulous.
He needs to go, Ellie. He really needs to go.
No, I don't agree. Anyway, sorry.
Julian says Davis out, Doherty out, Emerson out, Dyer out. Louise needs someone to challenge his position. He's too comfortable. Exactly. That is the point.
Yeah. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. You put 6 or 7 Forster in goal, and he can't even get down to the low ones, and will be conceding left, right, and centre.
You look at our goalkeeper. Philip would back me up in this. Bazzuno. That is a keeper we should be going after.
Yeah, but we're talking about. Yeah, but we're talking about this season, Doherty. Dermot. Right, I called you Doherty. Sorry about that. No, slander. Right, no, you've got to be careful what you wish for.
Expect no matter in the post, Ellie.
Is not as good as Lloris. Sorry, no way.
Look, Philip. Look, where do you stand on Lloris and Dyer? I mean, where do you stand on Dyer and Davis? I mean, where do you stand on Dyer and Davis, Philip? Look, they keep doing the same thing. They can't do the basics. We cannot keep putting these. I know we haven't got players to replace him with, but once Longley came on last night, we looked more solid defensively. What's wrong with these players?
Pass the ball. That's why.
What's wrong with these players, Philip?
They can't pass the ball. Go on, Philip. Tell them. Philip? Is he there? I knew we'd lost him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll come back in.
I just read this comment here. It's a good comment, actually, Ellie. Rob Belcher, but believe me, I'm a great fan of our skipper. Oh, yeah, of our skipper.
He's coming in twice.
He's coming in twice. Double trouble. But there was again an incident where Luis just punched the ball where he shouldn't have caught it. Don't start being diabolical.
I heard that.
And that
I'm gonna defend Lloris, right? Foreign goalies, especially French goalies, they're taught to punch the ball. They're not taught to catch it. So that's the way they've been trained. So that's not his fault.
But when there's no pressure, on it, why don't they catch it?
Yeah, I agree with you. But he is used to punching, so he'll always do it, even under pressure or not with pressure. He'll do it. He does. Yeah. He catches it. He catches it sometimes when it goes like low, and then he'll catch it. Yeah, but when it's in the air, about 90% of the time he'll punch it. Yeah.
Right, Ellie. I'll start with Philip. I'll start with you while we've got you, and then I'll go to you, Ellie, if that's okay. Sorry, just while we've got Philip, I'll start with him. Philip, are the same players doing the same as under POCH, Jose, Nuno, now Conte? Are they throwing him under the bus?
Well, I don't know if they're throwing him under the bus. I think they're throwing themselves under the bus, to be honest with you, because I say come January, if we're able to get a decent centre back in and a right wing back, some of those players will never see the light of the first team again, and it's their own fault. I have heard written that some of the players are fed up with Conte's training methods, and it could well be that they're sitting in the comfort zone on $100,000 a week and know that they can't be sacked, but the manager can. And you just don't know the mindset. Players are funny animals, you know. They like to do things their own way, and Conte is not the type of guy that lets them do that. So it's interesting, but certainly Doherty and Davis, we don't need to play them. We have alternatives. We just don't have an alternative for Dyer at the moment, unless you class Bambi on ice or Mr. Titanic deck chairs. Sanchez. Apart from that, we don't really have an option. Tanganga, I think, has been nursed along. I think he's got a back issue. I don't think he's going to be, I'd say he'll be out the door in January anyway.
Yeah.
But I think we're kind of stuck with some of the players. But then again, we've got the likes of Jed Spence to come in, who's crying out to get in the team. We've got Brian Hill, who showed last night what a skillful player he is and did more in the 20 minutes he was on than some of those players have done all season, really, to be honest with you. And that's why I'm thinking, like, for Saturday, I can see wholesale changes in this team because Tuesday night now has become so important when it shouldn't be. Tuesday night should be a formality, only thanks to VAR it's not. So now I think we're going to have to see the likes of Brian Hill coming in, Jed Spence coming in, and Bissouma coming in. And I can see him resting either Kane or Son. And I think Sonny deserves a rest because he was trying so hard last night, but absolutely nothing seemed to be coming off for him. And Harry Kane will keep playing because Harry Kane does what he does, and Harry Kane wants records, and Harry Kane is undroppable just at this moment in time. But we've got two very important matches coming up, and then the little matter of Liverpool at home, who haven't won away all season. Cue, you know what I'm going to say next.
Yeah.
You know? But anyway, that's my take on it.
Ellie, look. Forget Lloris, right? You look at Dyer, you look at Davies, you look at Doherty.
Yeah.
Brian Hill came on, made more of an impact in the minutes he was on than that team did in the first 70 minutes. It was absolute. They were booed off at halftime. And why did they done the same under Poch? They did the same under Jose. They keep complaining that there's little bits coming out of the dressing room, moaning about the training, moaning about how the cup of tea's probably made in the morning. They're probably moaning that they're not getting the right socks made for them. Why is this happening again and again and again at the club? Do you know, it looks like they are throwing Conte under the bus after that first half performance. Why?
Yeah. I can't put my finger on just one thing. It's a lot of collective things that you've already mentioned, Delbert. But I don't think they're actually throwing Conte under the bus. I agree with Philip in a lot of ways, because they're letting themselves down. They've got players in January we're going to strengthen after the World Cup, and there's going to be plenty of fish to fry. Yeah, there's going to be plenty of fish to fry in our team. There's going to be plenty of fish to fish in to get the replacements for these disastrous players who have let us down for the last, they've been there for 7 or 8 years, these players, and not one trophy in our cabinet. So what does that tell you? It tells you that they're all losers and they haven't got a winning mentality, regardless of what Conte's done with them. Because when you think Conte has got us to 3rd place in the Premiership with these losers, do you imagine what he can do when he slots his own players in and actually strengthens in the positions that he wanted to strengthen in the summer, but he couldn't get his first choices, right? So when he does get his first or even second choices, the first choices will be way above them. The second choices will be way above them as well, because they're not even. If I was picking a team, I wouldn't even put them as my 20th choice. I wouldn't. You know, they'd be right down the pecking order. And like I said, I would send them all to QPR. Sorry, Theo, my husband. I'd send them there because they're not Premiership quality. They are, at best, they're a Championship team. But even QPR are better than them now because QPR are top of the league, if you don't know, right? I just think they're just failures. Whatever you do with them, they will fail because they haven't got the passing ability, they haven't got the guile, they haven't got the mentality, and also they don't want to play for each manager that they've had. The only one you could say a little bit more is Conte. But even they've letting him down now. They're letting him down. Because he puts them on the pitch not to play like that in the first half. That was diabolical, the first half.
There is
the worst first half I've ever seen.
There is a train of thought. There is a train of thought that Conte is pacing the players so they don't peak too early with the second half of the season after the World Cup in mind. But there's no excuse for these poor first half performances.
No,
they're becoming the norm now rather than the exception. You nearly expect them to play badly in the first half now.
Yeah.
You know, if only he could give his half-time team talk before they go out for the start. That might G them up a bit.
Do you know what, Philip? I think he does do a really good team talk, but they're just not good enough. They don't follow instructions very well because he doesn't send them out to do that. That was diabolical what they showed in the first half.
But this is where a captain in the middle of the pitch will just come in handy out. Right ball and tell them, you know, do this, do that. Kyoto Reese can't do that, and that's no.
Oh, we've lost him. Oh, it's a shame.
In mid-thought, right? Look. My thought on it, Ellie, is look. We can't do nothing until January. Oh, he's back again.
Yeah. Go on. Say what you have to say.
No, let's see if Philip. See if Philip comes.
He'll come in. Don't worry. Say what you've got to say.
Yeah. Look, we can't. Look, these players have to be taught a lesson. They're paid big money to go out and do a job. They cannot follow simple instructions like defend.
Yeah.
Lucas last night, you could argue, one argument said he's been injured. That was his first game back, but he wasn't on the pace. That first half, Ellie, was not acceptable. I don't care if you're 5 years old and playing in the schoolyard. That would not be tolerated anyway. And why? It's not Conte's fault. I don't think it's not Conte's fault. The same players that played under POCH, that played under Jose, that played under Nuno, the same thing. They don't play well in the first half. They get a bollocking from the manager at half time, and then for 20 minutes in the second half to put a bit of a spurt on.
Yeah, but it's like Sunday. It was too late. We were 2-0 down. You can't put the spurt on when you're 2-0 down. You put the spurt on at the very start when you're 0-0. I want to take control of the match, and they haven't done that, and that's what is so frustrating. And even the Leicester game that we were at, Leicester were the better team in the first 20 minutes.
They were.
Arguably, they were the better team up to about 60 minutes when Basuma came on and changed the whole thing, and Son came on. Yeah. But we can't be depending on strokes of luck like that. That's not going to happen every game. We're going to be playing. Teams have sussed us out now. We are a very easy team to play against at the moment, and that is very surprising.
Yeah. On the flip side of that, I'd say we're very hard to beat because we've shown that we are very hard to beat. We've lost a few more games since we last mentioned that, but I think I agree with you. We let the game slip away, and we could have let it slip away against Sporting yesterday. They could have easily been 3-0 up before we even got the equaliser. Yeah.
But Ellie, look, it's the same thing again. It's the same usual suspects. It's the same players. It's the same. And I know you keep saying, Ellie, Luis is okay. It's just his kicking and all this. But he's making mistakes more on a regular basis. Dyers keeps making a mistake every game. Davis keeps making a mistake every game. Doherty doesn't know what. Doherty doesn't know what he's doing. It's the same players, Ellie. We shouldn't have to. Hang on, Ellie. Just let me finish, please. It's the same players that keep making these mistakes. What do we have to do? I mean, look, I don't want to put up with this any longer. I've got to the point today. Hang on. I got to a point today where I sat and actually thought, I'm quite happy not to talk about Spurs until after the World Cup. That's how I feel because of last night's performance and the performances they keep putting in. You have a manager, a world-class manager on the touchline who's won. Jose won every trophy wherever he went. Tottenham's the only club he didn't win a trophy. Why? Because the same players, Dyer, Davis, Doherty, didn't put in a fucking performance, and half the players, Mr. Burger King, who's now lighting up the Italian league. He couldn't do it for us, but he's doing it for some team in it for Napoli. Harry Sideway Winks, another player. He's now come back to us. Okay, he's injured. But all these players will be coming back to us, Ellie, in the summer if they don't get moved on.
I know.
Players like Dyer, we should have looked at upgraded our goalkeeper 2 seasons ago. Luis has been a great servant for the club, but he's making more mistakes, Ellie. The 2 goals against Leicester were down to him. Against Newcastle were down to him. That last night, he made 2 good saves in the second half. I'll grant you that. He's a great shot stopper, but everything else, he's goddamn useless. He went flying. His decision-making isn't great, as it was. But it's not just him. It's the same suspects, Ellie, that keep making the same errors.
Do you know what I'd love to see? I'd love to see us bring in...
You, me, and Philip could go onto that pitch and give 120% and do a better job than what them few players did last night. It took a 21-year-old to come onto the pitch to show all them up. A 21-year-old who doesn't get a start. He came on and it was like watching a bit of Luka Modric and a bit of that one pass he did to Perisic. It was like a Glenn Hoddle pass from one side pitch to the other.
Yeah. And you know who I want to see as well on Saturday? I want to see Papa Matasar getting a look in.
Exactly.
He's another good player. And I'm just wondering, is there any way we can bring in Destiny Udogie from Udinese in January?
Yeah,
because he's pulling up trees in Italy at the moment. He's having a fantastic season. And that is our right back scenario solved for next season.
Yeah.
But I'd love to see him there now. Why give Udinese the benefit of the season? We need it. We definitely need it.
Yeah. Listen, Dermot, I went on the same rant as that you've just done on all social medias today. The only one I wouldn't throw under the bus is Maurice. The reason why I wouldn't, because I look at his record and I watch him play, right, really closely. Yes, he's made mistakes. I'm not saying that he hasn't. Of course he has, right? And he should be accountable for those mistakes, right? But this is a big but. He's been fabulous for us. He's the one player that I admire in that team more than even Højbjerg. And that's hard for me to say because, first of all, he's a fantastic shot stopper. He's not just good, he's fantastic, right? Second of all, he speaks out when things are going wrong.
When?
Right? He spoke out at Dynamo Zagreb. He was nearly beating up Sonny for not.
It's on the pitch.
For not tracking back against Everton.
Ellie, it's on the pitch. He's supposed to be fucking captain. He doesn't do a captain.
Yeah, he did. He had to go at Sonny. He nearly beat him up. He was going to punch his right down.
Ellie, that's two.
He does it all the time, though. Just you don't see it. He shouts at them all the time, but they can't take instructions. Because Dyer is not a defender, Davis is not a defender. They're useless, both of them. They can't defend.
Yeah. Look, I get
only last season Davis stepped up. He stepped up and he was performing a lot higher than he usually does. But now he's back to the normal Davis, which you think he wouldn't be because he's got Longley breathing behind him, ready to take his place. And Longley, however you judge Longley, first of all, he can pass better than Davis. He can bring the ball better out than Davis. He can link up play better than Davis. So I don't know why he's not an ever-present. And that is Conte's fault in a way because he keeps on playing Davis, right? I think he's played more games than Longley so far. So, you know, because he for him last season. But this season he's been atrocious.
Can I give just one example where I thought Lloris was not, again, Ellie, I'm not slagging the guy off. I'm just making a point here. Do you remember in the first game against Sporting Lisbon, he made this great save from the shot and started high-fiving the defenders. And what happened? They scored from the corner.
Yeah.
That was poor. He should be celebrating.
But a lot of goalies do that, Philip. A lot of goalies get. Do you know the Arsenal goalie? They're high-fiving him.
Not in the 90s.
Yeah, they do.
They're clowns. Don't mind them.
That Arsenal goalie, they high-five him.
I know they do. Yeah, sure. Arsenal have a team meeting every time they score a goal. You know,
they do.
which hopefully won't be too much often. You know,
they're probably trying to catch up what's happening in these and Coronation Street.
My internet is really bad here.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to bail out because it's not fair because it's lagging so much. Listen, sorry about this. It should be okay when I get to Boston. And on Saturday, I'm back up in Boston on Saturday. I'll have proper internet then, so I'll talk to you then. All right.
Okay.
Philip, if you see Lloris, give him some kicking practice.
Hang on. To kick him or kick the ball, which?
Either.
I know. Listen, lads, pleasure as always. I'm sorry this is the technology not to us here, unfortunately.
It's all right.
It's not your fault at all, Philip. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. And we'll see you Saturday.
Later.
Take care and be careful out there.
And
look after yourself.
I will.
Come
on, you Spurs.
Yeah.
Come on, you Spurs.
Exactly. Thanks, man. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, it's a shame, isn't it?
It is.
Shame,
Look,
he's lagging.
I've got a comment here from...
The internet's too slow.
No. He sounded really disappointed, didn't he?
Yeah, you know. Well, you know, he's a football man, isn't he? He's a real football man. He loves his football.
Look, and you said about I understand what I'm not having to go with you. I understand what you're saying, and I understand what you're getting at.
Yeah, I understand what you're getting at as well.
You look at captains we've had in the past where they drive the team forward. They if a player doesn't do, if Steve Perryman and Graham Roberts were in that team last night, what do you think they would have done to Dyer Davis?
I agree with you on that part. What would
they have done, Ellie? You tell me, what would they have done?
They would have followed everybody. They wouldn't have been put in a performance like that because Steve Perryman was Keith Birkinshaw's general. Graham Roberts, when Steve Perryman was injured, he took up the armband. Or if he wasn't playing for some reason. These two men of character, right? Lloris is not that type of captain. He's more... He can be vocal, but I don't think the goalkeeper should be a captain. That's just my own personal opinion. Because they're too far away from play.
Yeah.
They're too far away from play. They're in the goal, for God's sake. Why make a captain? Because I think because he's got a good influence in the dressing room and people respect him. He's a World Cup winner. He's done it all in football, right? The only thing he hasn't done is won anything with Spurs.
Yeah, look. I just think he needs. We've got Nick said Ozzy wouldn't pass to them exactly.
No,
and somebody's saying Rob's saying spot on. Ellie. Yeah, Kev Williams has put Lloris has cost us several times this season already. I can't see Hugo in the team next season. No, I can't.
I can't see him next season, but this season I think he'll keep his place.
Look. He's 10 years at the club. He deserves his testimonial, but he's not a captain. And just because he bollocked Sonny in the dressing room for the television, for the documentary to make him look good, and
do
whatever.
You think that?
Yeah,
you honestly believe that?
Look. How many times has Sonny not tracked back before, and Lloris never said a word to him?
No, Sonny does track back though. He does.
Yeah,
he's a hard-working player.
Well, if he can do that, if Lloris can do that on a TV documentary, why can he not do that on the pitch week in and week out?
But he does, Dermot. His record speaks for itself. He just doesn't put a trophy in our cabinet.
Yeah, but
and that's because we've got an atrocious defence.
You can blame Dyer, you can blame Davis, but also you can blame Lloris. Should have saved that goal last night.
Well, I was right behind the goal. It was a bloody good shot. Everybody was clapping it.
Yeah, but he should have got to it. That's the point I'm making.
Not many goalies. That's my own opinion. Not many goalies.
The goal against Man United.
Right in the bottom left-down corner.
He has. Look, he has let us down. But we'll go away from Lloris because we could talk about him all night. Probably.
We just have to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on.
look, I understand what you're saying. I do get what you're saying.
Let's just agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd be talking about Lloris for the whole show. We don't want to do that.
No. Look, Hill came on last night and he did change the game for me. He came on in the 73rd minute and he rarely changed the game for me. He rarely just showed what he's about. He ran at players. He made things happen. That cross ball, that ball from one side of the pitch to the other was unreal. And people that have been slagging him off, oh, he's no good, we need to get rid of him. Well, I think they should today apologise because he is a real deal. He is the real player. He reminded me a bit of Luka Modric, which I never thought I would see him. And there was a bit of Glenn Hoddle about him last night. That pass was a Hoddle pass. Is it time Conte starts using Hill? And did he change the game when he came on?
Yeah, he did. And you know what else he changed? The crowd's mood. You know, Spurs fans, they're very fickle, but when they see good football and good footballers with skill, they applaud it, right? Because we've been starved. We've been starved of a player that's actually got the balls to take on a player and beat his man, right? We've got 2 wing backs in Sessegnon. Well, we've got 4 really. We've got Sessegnon, we've got Doherty, we've got Emerson, and we've got Perisic. Perisic will take on his man, but he's 33. He's got all the skills in the book, but he's not been impressive, right? The other 3 forget about, they forget about. They're not the real deal. But Brian Hill, in that short time, the crowd, Dermot, you should have. It was like we were uplifted, like somebody had given us an injection and said, "This injection of Brian Hill." Right? It was so exciting to watch. And on the ball, he's so confident, you know, and he exudes confidence, and it brings it to the rest of the team, not just the crowd. And we upped our game. All of the players upped their game because they saw Brian Hill's energy. Bentancur was already there, but all the rest of the players were lagging. And he brought them up to a level, right? And even Kane, he even tried to dribble that he didn't come off because the Sporting players, they surrounded him and he couldn't get through. But if he got through, it would have been marvellous. But they just blocked him. So those little things that he did had a massive knock-on effect on our play. Yeah, I loved it. I love the way he plays. And he's very clever. He's a very clever player as well. He picks up little pockets of space that no other player in our team picks up apart from Kulu. Yeah.
Look, for me, he was better than Luka Moura. Look, Moura for me,
but he will always difficult.
No, but for me, look, Hill last night was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
he really was a breath of fresh air. He did it against Frankfurt when he came on for the last 10 minutes against Frankfurt. He got us the winner. He got the penalty that Kane put away. That dinky.
Actually, Kane missed it.
Yeah, but that dinky little run that Ozzy and who's the other fella that did it? Oh, what's his name?
What, old player?
No, he played it. He done the dinky run in the cup final in '81.
Ricky Villa.
He done the Villa dink, as I call it.
Yeah.
For me, I love Brian Hill. I've been a big supporter of him since he joined the club, and as Dave on the Irish Hotspur calls him, Gil Messi. He is Gil Messi. He's going to be a big star, but he can be a big star at Tottenham. And I think Conte's got to trust these players. Papa Sarr, Gil Messi, also Spence. I think these players have to start going in, Ellie. But Ellie, he is a great player of the future. I'm so excited. And we can both agree in that. You and me have raved about this player for a while now.
I love him. I think he's a breath of fresh air like you, Dermot. And I like, when I mentioned the crowd, how uplifted we were, right? I'm telling you, it's like a surge of energy came into the Spurs fans. And we started singing all the old songs as well, because we were proud that we raised our game through Brian Hill and Bentancur. But he was already there. He was already at the energy of Brian Hill. Yeah. and the rest of the players were going like way behind. Højbjerg tried, he did try, and he's done a really good run, but even him was lagging, and the rest of the players were all lagging in my book.
Right, Ellie.
Especially the defence.
Yeah, we're going to go on now to a very touchy subject. I mean,
Okay,
I'm fuming over this. You're fuming over this. I think for me, I said in we just got the big up Carl Simpson for coming in as well. He said this whole is too lightweight winds me up. He is not the first lightweight player to do well in the Premiership. Look at Cristiano Ronaldo when he first came into Man United. He was like Gil, skinny, and he bulked himself up. But so was Ronaldo. I haven't seen a player like that for us. I think since Glenn Hoddle, a player that can do what he can do on the ball since Glenn Hoddle. Probably Paul Gascoigne, but I think Hoddle was more of a complete player than Gaza, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
But that pass he did to Perisic was wow. That was a Glenn Hoddle moment.
Class.
Yeah, it was. We've got Nick Copeland. So if Hill knuckles down, he could be the next David Silva. Yeah, exactly. Peter M. He says, Carl Simpson, yes, we should remember how frail Modric was when he started at Spurs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's another player.
Yeah, he got really good legs now, Modric. If you look at his legs, they're really strong.
Yeah. Right, Ellie, let me take that down for a minute and let go. Where's the banners? So we can see. Oh, hang on. I'm having a mare tonight on StreamYard.
We need it from the other angle as well.
I haven't got the other angle. I couldn't find the other angle, Ellie. This is the only angle I could find.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, this is look. He's onside. Whatever which way you look at it, it's a goal. I don't care.
I can't see the other player's foot. That's all.
Well, look. It doesn't matter, Ellie. Once the ball, I think the rule is once the ball comes off another player, then it's onside. Now, you were at the game last night. Now, we could go on about it. Was it a goal? Wasn't a goal? To the cows come home. We'll all have our opinions on it. But why did it have to take 4 minutes to make a decision that if that was done in the Premier League, within 30 seconds, the referee would be saying, pointing to the halfway line, go, get on with it.
Yeah.
So look, I'm going to say it now. Yeah. Look, my own point of it, Ellie, is, look, I think UEFA wanted all the teams on the last day for telly. And the question is, do you think,
conspiracy theory.
Was that VAR decision done for television?
You're never going to know 100%, but if I had to call it, I would say it's going to make it more exciting for UEFA, isn't it? Yeah. Because we're all there's 3 teams, actually there's 4 teams who can qualify, isn't there? They all got a chance, yeah? Because we've got 8 points. Is that right? Or we've got 9 points? We've got 8 points. 8 points. They've got 7. Frankfurt have got 7.
Marseille got 6. Yeah, Marseille got 6.
Marseille got 6. So if Marseille beat us, they go on 9 points. And then it all depends on what Sporting and Frankfurt do. So, yeah, you could say that that's a conspiracy theory, but you can never kind of prove it. But I just feel that 4.5 minutes, whatever it took, it didn't need to take that long, did it? Mm. You know? It's not a clear and obvious offside, if it was offside. But you can see from that line, he's not offside. But this new UEFA rule, I'd like to see it because I can't comment on it unless I see the rule.
Yeah, Ellie, look, it was a goal all day long. I don't care what anyone says. Even professional footballers, ex-professional, are saying it's on. We've got Jarula here saying she's making a brilliant point. And I have to say, your family make really good points on these streams, I have to say. So
true.
Look how
footballing family.
distorted Emerson's leg looks in that still. My kids said that it took them 4 minutes to fix that image to look like it was off. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I find this screen grab unbelievable as proof of offside. The rule is there to stop goal hanging, not this. It's not a clear and obvious error by the ref. See, that's what VAR was brought in for.
Yeah.
If the referee has made a proper 100% error on the field of play, that VAR was there to help him. It isn't there to fix matches so UEFA can make more money for the television rights for the last game of the Champions League. And another thing as well, Barcelona went out last night. Atletico Madrid went out last night. Juventus went out of the Champions League the night before.
All the big guns.
Yeah. So, of course, they're losing all their big money. All the other groups have been decided. Oh, tell you what, let's fuck Tottenham over. Let's fuck Tottenham over again. Let's rule out a decent 100% honest goal, and we're getting to go to Marseille, where we haven't won away since the 5th of November 2020, when we won 3-1 against a Bulgaria side in the Europa League.
Yeah.
All right. We've had 3 draws and 5 defeats since that game.
Yeah.
And I tell you what.
And Peter brings up a good point there, Dermot, by the way.
Who's that?
He says, Peter M, he says, I find this screen grab unbelievable as proof of offside. The rule is there to stop goal hanging, not this. It's not a clear and obvious error by the ref.
Yeah, I just read that out, but it's a brilliant point.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're right. It's a good point. Look, and Dave says, no, you're totally wrong. The rule was changed. If the defender deliberately plays the ball, it's onside. If it just comes off the defender, then it's offside. What's he supposed to do, David? Emerson headed the ball, right? What's he supposed to do? The ball, it's going to come off him anyway. So if the rule is changed, can you put in the chat what the exact rule is? Because I can't find it, and I've been searching all day for it.
To see the exact writing, what it says.
Yeah, because I don't agree with that. Look, you're probably right, but if you can put the exact wording in the rule in the chat for us, I'd be really appreciative. We've got Carl Simpson. It wasn't even the ref; it was an official in VAR box. That's another thing I've got a bloody bone to pick with your with.
Can I ask you something? Did the referee give the goal? Because I was so celebrating the goal that I didn't see what the ref decision was.
The referee gave the goal. The referee, the linesman,
gave the goal. Up and said it's a goal.
Yeah. VAR.
And then VAR is the bit.
Hang on a minute. Stop there, ref. Hang on. We're just being paid another €5 million just to knock this off from Tottenham, and then hang on, and then 4 minutes. 4.
Was it actually 4 minutes or more? Because it seemed like 10 minutes in the stadium.
It was 4 minutes, Ellie. It said on telly last night. 4
minutes. 4 minutes to fix the angles. To make it offside.
Well, they're having a conference in the VAR box. Hang on, let's pass the magic mushrooms and the spliffs around here.
Right now, Spurs can't appeal a VAR decision, can they?
And another joke.
No forms of appeal.
Yeah, and another joke: sending Conte off. Conte said last night, and I've got his quote here, Ellie. I wrote this down last night.
Yeah.
He said, "Where did he say it now?" I did write.
There's all sorts of memes. There's all sorts of memes coming out about what Conte said.
Yeah, hang on. I wrote it down because I was listening to the press conference for Dave's show last night.
Yeah.
Where is it now? Where did I write it down now? Sorry.
Get your notes.
I actually wrote a hell of a lot of notes. I wrote 3 pages of notes last night. He said in his press conference, I don't see honestly how this wasn't a goal, but the club have to be strong. So he's looking at the club now to stand him up. What he says, he said he probably sent me off because I was the most well-known person there.
He can recognise his big blue eyes.
Look, Ellie, look, Peter Rem says, Dermot and Ellie, what do you think of my earlier comment about how video review is used in cricket? Whether we could do... Look, you look at rugby.
Yeah.
You look right. Peter Rem, I did see a comment. I'm sorry, we've had so many comments in tonight. I did bring it up.
Well done, Peter. Well done,
but
Peter.
Look, you look at GAA over here, we have the Hawkeye system, if it's over the bar or not. Do you know, it's just simple yes or no. You have that in rugby. Rugby stops for a few minutes. The referee then says...
The referee talks, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he explains the decision.
You look at American football. They explain every decision. They couldn't do that in football. But it works in every sport. How come football is the only sport that fucks it up?
Because there's more money in it. That's why.
But
there's corruption, you know?
Yeah, you look at cricket, they use, I think it's, let me know if I'm right, Peter, they get 3 strikes, three video reviews per over, was it per innings? Could you let me know? But I think the system used in cricket is spot on, and I agree with that.
Look where you've got the corruption, Dermot, right? You've got the corruption in football and you've got the corruption in boxing, right? That's where the main money is, where the corruption is. Boxing and football. You don't get it in rugby and cricket because there's nothing. In comparison, the money is small.
Did you hear about the corruption in chess the other week? There was supposed to be chess. It was happening. I'm thinking, how can you cheat in chess?
I know.
That did make me chuckle. I have to say. Big up, Dave. Says ex-pros. Dave said ex-pros haven't got a clue about any rules. I don't agree with you on that, David. I'm sorry, some of them do. Carl Simpson, that David, so true. They haven't a clue. Well, sorry, Carl, I disagree with you as well. The ref and assistant gave the goal, so it should have stood. Yes, you're right. Again, look,
you're in a disagreeing mood tonight, Dermot.
I'm on a rant tonight, Ellie. I'm sorry, but I am. I hope that's okay. I don't mean to be rude. I hope I'm not being rude or coming up rude.
Not but rude. You can disagree.
Yeah, looks like the Europa League is where it is at this season. At least the Gunners lost. Yeah, at least they lost. That's good. Girola, they need to start allowing us to hear how VAR comes up with it. Exactly.
Yeah,
that's the
right.
point.
That's what I just said.
Right, hang on. Let me get that up. Carl Simpson. Guys.
The decision.
Yeah. Carl Simpson says, guys, don't worry. Don't worry, guys. We beat Marseille.
Yeah.
Very funny, Carl. We're having one on the way game.
We've got more chance.
Yeah. Big up, Carl. Big up, Carl. I love Carl Simpson. He's so great. Dave, I don't think me and David agree, actually. I think me and David, I'd love to get David on the fan show. I think him and me would butt heads a little bit.
Send him the link. Send him the link, Dermot.
Big up, David. No, we are going to start up a fan show. I think we're going to do that this weekend. Me and Ellie going to do our. We're coming. It's a name for it, but we are going to do something like that where all you THFC Till I Die subscribers can come on and talk Spurs with us. He says, "No, you are wrong again." I'm never wrong. I'm always wrong. I'm Dermatron. Right. Because no, you are wrong again. It's absolutely laughable that you Spurs fans are saying it's fixed. What are you Spurs fans come to do with this show? Are you a Spurs fan or a Leicester fan, David? I can't. If you're a Leicester fan, then but just let us know. I think maybe I've got that wrong, but yeah. Big up, David. Thank you for coming in. It makes no difference as Kane wasn't offside anyway. Exactly, Carl. Exactly.
Yeah.
He said, Peter M says, David Clark, but that rule change doesn't address the true reason for the offside rule. It used to require 2 defenders behind the ball, not 1. Exactly. I tell you one thing, I enjoy David Clark in the chat. I have to say he brings some really good points. They read it out they read it out on Spurs TV that they said it was offside. Well, look, I'm going to stick to my guns and say it was offside. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Look, look, and Ellie, what is the problem? Look, I said in a tweet today's thing, VAR needs to go. It needs to go now. I don't mind technology helping a goal line decision. You've got a ridiculous handball rule now, where they're giving penalties for ridiculous. Look at the game on Monday. VAR got 2 wrong decisions in that game on Monday.
Yeah.
Last night's game in Europe, games are too easily fixed or manipulated for UEFA's own money grabbing reasons. You know, we got the Super League still rearing its ugly head. That will come down the line again. So look,
it's the Super League is there in principle. Yeah. It just needs the other clubs to sign. But they've all signed the contract. We've even signed the contract, but we can't get out.
No,
we can't get out of that contract.
No, we can't. But look, that's for I'm going to do a show in the Super League, Ellie, and you and me are going to really have our says as passionate Spurs fans. But look, does VAR need to go, or does it need to be changed, Ellie? What do you do? Because you look at the Premier League this season, the VAR decisions this season have been laughable. Yeah.
It's because you're relying on, is it 2 people in VAR or just one person sitting in there? Right, so it's 2 people, and then you've got the referee, and that's 3. The more people you put in the mix, the more errors are going to be made, because it's open to interpretation, right? And also the way they draw the lines as well. Yeah, you should be doing it when the ball is played. I don't even think they do that, because they get so many decisions wrong. It's unbelievable, right? And the handball situation as well. They get so many of those wrong. You see decisions where they're giving and you think it's no way they're going to give it. They give it, and you think that then it's on the flip side. It's just one big mess. One big mess. They've got to sort it out. Otherwise, the fans are going to be going away from the game in their drones, because they're not going to put up with that.
To the cricket question, Carl Simpson says per innings, so there's Nick per innings. So it's three reviews per innings. Right, I get you now. I don't watch cricket, but I know Ireland beat England in the World Cup the other day. So Ireland beat England at everything. So there you go. I thought I'd put that
in. All the English fans, we apologise for that.
Ellie, we're getting our own back in your sport, but that's another subject completely. David Clark, I tell you, if David comes on, him and me are going to butt heads in a good way, but we are going to butt heads. Dermot, you are wrong again. I keep hearing that a lot. I'm wrong. My missus says I'm wrong.
Is it coming in your ears? You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
I know I'm right, but there you go. It says, Dermot, you're wrong. Big up, David. Dermot, you're wrong again. It doesn't matter if the ref gave the goal. You should know that. If a goal is scored automatically, it goes to VAR. Not all the time. It doesn't happen. It's so quickly done in the Premier League. It's done. It's done within 30 seconds. My point is, why did it have to take 4 minutes? That screams something else completely. And it was onside. In cricket, Peter M says the umpires can call for a review if they have doubts. It's also in test matches where each team has 3 player reviews per innings. It's limited. In limited overs cricket, it's 2 reviews per team. I get you. Carl Simpson, David versus Dermot.
I think, you know what? I think that would be a good battle. And who's going to win the war?
Peter Rem says Dermatron destroys.
Come on, who's going to come up against me? We don't care about Donald Trump and David. They're just they're has-beens. This is the Queen Ellie you're talking about.
Right, get rid of her right for a minute. David Simpson said David is
the Queen Ellie. I'm here. Yeah. Don't take me off.
Carl Simpson, I'm only joking, Ellie. Sorry, I'm only doing it for a laugh. Sorry.
Yeah, you better not do it again. I'll be round. My God, it was gang. David is the head of VAR.
I heard that.
Didn't any of you realise that? yeah, he's the one who started it all.
I've been a Spurs fan since 1961, born in Harlem. Yeah, sorry, David, I forgot.
He said that before.
Yeah, I know.
The
issue I have is VAR is ruining the game. We love it. It's a mess. Look, for me, football died last night. Football died last night, and I sent a tweet into Dave's show today, and I said to him, I was heartbroken last night after that. Not by the VAR decision, but by the performances of the players that are not fit to wear that Tottenham shirt. The likes of Davis, Doherty, Lloris sometimes.
Watch it.
I was waiting for a comment.
Watch it. I'm coming to Wexford.
I'm meeting you in Dublin. Yeah, but no, apart from Lloris, but them players are not fit to wear the shirt. You look at the players at the past, Dave Mackay, Danny Blanchflower, Pat Jennings, Steve Perriman, Tony Galvin, Ray Roberts. Yeah. I found out the other day, do you know we were talking about why the club didn't do nothing from Bill Nixon, which I thought was a disgrace. He didn't do anything last night. Do you know he's actually entombed in the stadium? Him and his wife.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. I'll tell you what.
I saw that. Somebody said that to me the other day. He's actually entombed. Him and his wife were exhumed and entombed into the stadium. So they're actually buried within the stadium.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I've got something else interesting to add. Right, so I was watching Jimmy Greaves, and he was saying, players that work. Right, he said players that work hard, they're workhorses, right? Mm-hmm. They're important to the team, but the most important players to the team are the ones that affect the game, right? Because you can run around for 90 minutes, but if you don't affect the game, what's the point? Right? He said, I never used to run around for 90 minutes, but I affected the game because I've scored goals everywhere I've been. Right? Yeah. He said, I wasn't the hardest working player, but I made sure that we won the game with our goals.
Yeah.
And that's the true test of a great player. When you don't have to run around. Do you think Messi runs around for 90 minutes? No, he doesn't. And what he's done now, he's slowed down, so he picks when he's running. He's going to pick the run that he makes. He doesn't waste his energy because he knows that he's not as fit as when he was 24, 25, 26. Yeah, when you should be coming up to your peak as a player. But most players hit their peak about 27, 28, don't they? You know, because they've got the experience and they've got the know-how. Yeah.
How old's Lloris?
Lloris is 31, I think, if I'm right. Let me just check.
He's past it then. He's on the decline.
He's a goalie. Goalies are different. Goalies can play longer.
He's not fit yet. Look, we will have a show in our charity stream.
What more do you want?
Ellie, we're going to let it save your argument. We're going to do a debate. Who's the better goalkeeper, Ray Clements or Lloris? There you go.
This is the man. It's his birthday today. Glenn Hoddle, it's his birthday today.
I know it's his birthday today. He's got a bit of a belly on the minute. He needs to lose that belly.
Love him.
He's God. He is God.
He's the God.
David Clark's getting a bit angry with me now because he's put all these comments in capital letters.
I know. Right, I love David Clark. Come on. Yeah. I can't wait to do our fan show.
He's shouting at me now.
He is.
Right, go. If a goal, you can imagine watching it on TV.
If a goal is scored, it automatically goes to VAR. Am I correct?
I'm going to say yes now because you scared me.
Yeah. Well, not all goals go to VAR.
They do actually,
don't.
Ellie. They do. They all do.
But
What
they
they've
don't
done,
flash it on the stadium if
yeah,
it's gone to VAR.
yeah, what
So
they've
every
done,
goal that's scored goes to
yeah,
VAR.
but they're so
Okay.
quickly done, Ellie, within 30 seconds, 25 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone has said this, but the VAR official was the same guy who refed our Champions League final.
I was told it at the bus stop by a Spurs fan who read it.
In here.
I was on my way home and the Spurs fan told me at the bus stop.
Same guy who refed our Champions League final, who gave that penalty against Suzuka.
Yes.
Enough said. Enough said in that. We're really behind on the comments, Ellie. We're really bad at our job tonight.
Right.
David, you are correct. David Clark saying talking about other sports is ludicrous. There's no bar on the. Well, look, it shows how other sports run their VAR. We've got JC, big up JC. I know you saw your comment earlier, so nice to see you in the chat, sir. VAR is subject, and that's the problem. 1 week it's an opinion of the VR team. Next week it's an instant. It's not consistently. It's not consistent all the time.
That's because you've got humans involved. Humans make errors.
The offside's supposed to be done by a computer now, Ellie, in Europe, apparently.
Yeah, so but even that's subjective, how they draw the lines.
Yeah. It was fixed last night, Ellie. Nick Coupland's shouting now. He's got it all in capitals now. He's shouting now. Why did the ref not go over to the monitor? Because it was a goal. If it was a penalty or a sending off or a tackle, they would automatically go over to the monitor. Because it was a goal, they don't go over. They don't need to go over to the monitor. Peter M, I agree, Ellie. VAR is on demanding the entertainment and why we pay for that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They took us to a height and Kane scored. They took it all away and we all left disappointed. All of the Spurs fans, we were like jumping for joy.
Yeah, it's not fixed. VAR screws every team. The people in VAR all have different opinions, so it would always be different. I think it should be an ex-referee and ex-players doing the VAR, but they're the same. Yeah. There should be a group of 7 or 8 different ex-professionals and ex-referees. There should be a referee doing every VAR with 2 ex-players with them, so that know the game, that know what happened. But the referees have to be from the last, say, 10 years of the Premier League, so that they're corrupted. That's, for me, should be done. That's how it should be done. Not getting you, me, and Mr. Bob Marley from Jamaica to come down and do the VAR, who's never watched a game in his life, but sits there and goes with a very long cigarette going, cool, man.
Is that a pop at Bob Marley?
No, I love Bob Marley. I'm just making a point. Somebody made a point today.
He's a Spurs fan as well, by the way.
He's a massive Spurs
he's a big Spurs fan. Come on, Bob Marley.
No wonder he wrote "No Woman, No Cry." He was writing that about Spurs. He knew what was coming in the future.
Yeah.
VAR's just.
I was going to say, remember before you read that out, remember what Philip said? He said Howard Webb is coming to take over to get the house in order for the referees.
Right.
He's a very highly respected referee, Howard Webb. So Philip's right about that.
It's going to be a bit like the House of Dragons, where they're going to come in with the big dragons and just kill everyone. No, the gay dragons like they do in Game of Thrones. Yeah. Stick them all in the dungeons. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying the House of Dragons, by the way, at the moment. I'm waiting to see the last 2 episodes of that.
Read out Peter M's comment. Go back one. That's it.
That one? No, that
VAR.
one. VAR just transfers the subject from the pitch to the videos to the video referee. Yeah, that's all it does. We've got David Clark. It took 4 minutes because we were talking about millimeters and discussions if the defender touched it deliberately or just struck it. Look, the ball was headed to him. Then if that adds then, if it was deliberate, then should it have been a penalty? So, look, he was onside. That's all I'm going to say. I know Dave's going to tell me I'm wrong, but that's my opinion. We've got Pete Rem says Jimmy Greaves. Exactly. Legend. Did you hear what a club are doing? Who is it? Which club? The Rangers on their year anniversary of their former manager. They're looking to get a statue outside their stadium for their former manager up in Glasgow.
Yeah. We don't
David,
do statues, apparently.
No, because it's stingy. David Clark says
they used to have a Hall of Fame with masks of their heads.
Yeah. They probably lost that. Right. It's fans, coaches, ex-pros, pundits moaning about it costs us relegation or millions. So it's our fault. So it's our fault that we have VAR. Now we're moaning that we have it. Let's get back to fate. Yeah, I agree with you. I think VAR should be gone. I think it needs to go, and it needs to go now. We've got Ellie. I'm on the same. I am the same. I pick my points, mean none at all. It says the best keeper was Galini, so you're both wrong. Oh Lord Jesus!
Oh my God, Carl.
Yeah. What about Eric the Viking? He was good. Yeah, Eric the Viking.
He was a really good goalie.
Yeah. Eric the Viking. This now, David. I am good to agree with you with this. You may agree on something, which is quite this is quite of a momentous occasion that me and David are actually going to agree on something.
Yay! You've agreed on something that Pat Jennings was a fabulous goalie.
Yeah.
The best in the world.
Exactly. If they wanted to fix the game, they could have given a foul on the keeper by Bentancur. Look, they did.
Yeah.
It does. Look, for me, it was fixed. I'm going to say that there. I think the game is fixed, so they make it all so exciting for the last round of matches. Myself, personally. Darren Wiltington, what does Dave think of VAR?
Yeah.
I tell you what Dave thinks of VAR. He thinks they're going to pull a rule out from the 1870s to actually back up what they did last night. So go over to the Irish Hotspur when we finish here, and you will get your answer there. We've got Carl. We've got Carl. Peter, I'm talking to Carl. Dave Clark says the only thing fixed last night was Romero when they scored that goal. Okay.
Oh right, yeah, because he was fixed in one spot. He didn't move to stop him. Yeah.
Look, for me, Romero was the best defender out of the lot of them. That's my opinion. Iron Davis was a load of shit. The way to go with VAR is not going away. It is for the refs to ask for help when they need it, and for a captain to ask for a review, say one per half for each team. I think that's spot on. Yeah. Absolutely spot on.
Very good comment.
I didn't know that about Bill Nick and his wife. If he had the choice now, he'd probably dig himself up and then go back to the cemetery. I shouldn't have done that, but that was actually quite funny.
You know what though? That is a joke, right? But Bill Nicholson was Mr. Tottenham Hotspur. He ran our club from Tea Lady right up to Sydney Well, right? So he was in charge of our club. He'd done everything for our club. And he was 1951, he won the league title as a player in the push and run after road team, right? And then he became our manager in 1958, and it only took him 2 seasons, right, to get us up to the highest echelons of football to do the double. The first team to do the double in 64 years. That's how hard it was to do the double on those mud pitches, not the carpets that they play on nowadays, right? On mud pitches with heavy level footballs that had that stitching in them. So when you headed it, you bloody do yourself a mischief. Yeah. You see? And he made us a great side to watch. And we were celebrated all around the world for our football. Yeah. Yeah? That's how good we were.
Yeah. Walter Smith, I agree with you, really. Walter Smith statue. Nick's shouting at us again. Everything in capitals. He's shouting at us again. I've ordered a lorry load of ketchup, so we should win against Bournemouth. Yeah, I agree with you. Look, Dave Clark saying the best goalkeeper.
Our people in our chat are so good, aren't they? They're fantastic.
Yeah,
well
they
done,
really
everybody.
The best goalkeeper was Gordon Banks. No, it wasn't. It was Pat Jennings. Sorry, Gordon Banks. Just because Pat Jennings was the best goalkeeper. So we're disagreeing already.
Yeah, they're both as equal as good as each other in different ways.
It doesn't help that Romero plays with a couple of cart horses. Exactly.
Yeah.
Dave Clark says best player ever, Pele. No, it's Maradona.
Oh.
And we've had
Maradona and Hoddle.
Bill Nick should have been knighthooded. Yeah, he should have been done.
Yeah, he got an OBE only. What's wrong with that? Why give him an OBE?
Put things in big couple of letters at us, Ellie. They're shouting at us here tonight, wherever we've done wrong.
Yeah. That's because I'm shouting probably.
You are, wrong.
You know, when I get passionate about something, I raise my voice, especially when it comes to Bill Nicholson, because I love the man.
Look, but he only lived up the road from the stadium apparently for all his life.
He stayed local because he wanted to be part of the Tottenham heritage. You know, and he was from Yorkshire.
They ran rings around us. Number of times they did. Actually, they nearly won it. Alex Dyer would be captain, as for some reason everybody loves him manager-wise. I think if he's talking about the Alex, I think he's talking about... If he becomes
our manager, I'm not supporting Spurs. I'm telling you.
I would always support Spurs. That's not what he said, Ellie. He said Alex...
He said Dyer would be captain, as for some reason everybody loves him. Manager-wise. What does he mean by that?
Every manager we've had loves him. So Alex saying that he should be captain. He's the man that said he's the man, if I think right, said Harry Winks should play up front.
Oh my God.
Enough said.
Imagine if Eric Dyer became our manager though. Do you imagine that? I feel sick.
Yeah, hang on. Sorry, where's the bucket?
The bucket.
Fans want to change the rules to suit them in any sport. You play the rules as they are now. You may disagree with them, but you have to accept them. Look, look. We have to go to Marseille and get a point, but I don't agree that wasn't the goal. It doesn't mean I don't accept the result. I accept the result, but look, we all know the Ranger are as corrupt as anybody. Look at Sepp Blatter and Michel Platini, both been put up for corruption in European football.
Yeah, they've got very good lawyers to get them off it.
Yeah. Only Preston North End did the double in the 1889 for Spurs. That is true. Maradona, not good enough to make Pele stick. No, Maradona went to Europe. He played in South America, played in Europe, played in Italy, made a name for himself in Europe, was the best, dragged an Argentinian side that was not the greatest to World Cup glory, and scored a first goal against England, which I'm not saying about it because I get shouted at, scored probably the best ever goal you would ever likely see in the second goal. The two goals against Belgium in the semi-final were as good as any you would see. And then he single-handedly took that Argentinian side in 86. So I'm sorry. Even Pele said himself, Maradona was better than him.
Yeah, and also he went to Napoli and he won the league. They'd never won the league before in their whole history. And he went there and he dragged their team to the league title. Yeah. Brilliant goals he scored. Brilliant. Absolutely stunning goals.
Carl Simpson says, David, yes, the rule change, it gave Spurs a 3-goal head start. Yeah. All the managers love Dyer is ludicrous. Yeah, it is actually. We've got
Eric Dyer, that's why.
Eric Dyer, Blue and White are me, Alexander Hilton, and he's magic. No, Eric Dyer, please, Alex, just go and play with R2D2.
He's just joking.
I know. I'll go play with three PPO. We gave Ryan Mason the job, so why not Dyer?
Do you know what though? you know what, Dermot? That you don't have to be the best player to make a good manager. Jose Mourinho was never a good player, but he made the very best manager.
And we're still the only club on his CV never to win a trophy yet.
Yeah.
Says
and do you know Nuno was his goalie? Do you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nick, Ellie, hearing your voice makes me want to come home. It's too wet in Belfast.
Oh my God.
I thought.
It's dry in Enfield. It's dry in Enfield at the moment.
I think you got a big fan there, Ellie and Nick. Right.
Yeah.
Get ready for your fan letters. Darren says the clip Dermot showed tells us Kane was onside. Thank you, Darren. Thank you so much. You backed me up. You're the first one on the fan show. You will get a gold star. Thank you, big man.
Darren's a true Spurs man.
He is. David Clark, Maradona is a treat and a Drogo. Look, we shouldn't really speak. We shouldn't really speak ill of the dead, but he did like his Coca-Cola.
Rest in peace, Maradona.
Exactly. Look, we did a show. Me and Mark did a show. Mark was very, very adamant that Maradona was a cheat. He liked his bit of Pablo Escobar, and it did show lines, David. Let me put it up. Look, what do you think that is? There's a red and a blue line. There's a blue line there and a red line there.
And the red line, and his foot is on the red line.
He is on side.
Yeah.
We're going to
and
give
also,
it.
Dermot, you know, you just mentioned the not the offside, the handball. Thierry Henry cheated.
Hang on, Ellie. Ellie, don't. You can start me off another rant on that. But I know you're going to say, but hang on for 1 minute. He says, Alexander Hilton said, a stake come on the pitch, made Kane onside, to be fair, so that goal should have stand.
Right, you're right.
You're right. Nice, it's all stakes. Yeah, Thierry Henry.
It was a fillet steak.
Thierry Henry, that night would live in my... We outplayed France that night. We rarely did outplay.
I watched that game in full, and I was disgusted when Thierry Henry won that.
Before we go off the stream, which will be in a minute, and thank you for the 15 people. We were up to 30 at one stage, but 15 people have consistently stayed with us. Thank you so much. Hit that like, get us over to 700. We really want to get there before the weekend.
Hit the subscribe button, everybody, because we're on 699. We need one more subscriber to go to 700, and let's go to 1,000.
We've got Peter M says Kane's toe is on the blue line, isn't it? Yeah. And then Darren says Ponder's End, man. I know where Ponder's End is.
Ponder's End's just down the road from me.
Yeah, it is. Big up, Darren.
Go on, Darren. I might meet you down there one day.
Big up Peter as well. And big up David. I'm going to say is, do you think that Maradona's second goal was the best goal you've ever seen in the World Cup?
Oh my God!
I said
it was like Ricky Villa on speed.
Yeah, it's
like Ricky Villa on speed.
This is the argument about Maradona. It's the same I have for friends about Gaza. They say he'll never be world class as his actions off the pitch ruined it. Look, George Best, probably one of the best players of his generation ever to go onto a pitch. Ryan Giggs, probably one of the best Manchester Uniteds took over Ryan Giggs' throne. Off the field, a complete and utter whatever. On the pitch, is probably one of the best players of my generation of watching football. Paul Gascoigne, another player, a trouble player, a genius on the football pitch, but off the pitch wasn't looked after. And look, for me, Diego Maradona, as much as England fans will never forgive him for that first goal, which wasn't a hand, it came off his head. That's a, by the way, so don't take it.
On
wasn't
the head. On the head. Is it like this?
Yeah, that's it. Maradona for me was probably one of the greatest players I watched as a child growing up in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, he really was. And again, another player that was a genius, but with a troubled private life. But by Jesus, on the pitch, that man was something. And you can list of players that off the field, they're totally out of control. But you give them a ball, you give them a green pitch, and George Best scored some of the best goals you'll ever see in the 60s. And he retired at 29, Ellie.
Yeah. And also, I saw Jimmy Greaves talking about this, right? And he was relating it to himself and other players who the press hounded. And he said, don't always believe what you read, right?
Yeah.
Because he said that everybody was making me out to be some raging alcoholic.
Yeah.
Right? That I was out of control, that I didn't know what I was doing. If I was so bad, like I was a total alcoholic, when I got on the pitch, how comes I weren't falling over, but I was scoring 3 or 4 goals a game? If you're an alcoholic, you cannot do that.
No.
You can't go on the pitch and perform to that level, right? So he said there's a narrative in the British press to bring players down in that era, and they still do it to this day. They do. They're doing it with Jack Grealish now. They just show him in every nightclub falling out of a nightclub. But all the other times, right, he's a young lad. He's going out, he's having fun. Yes, he's fallen out of a nightclub, but he doesn't mean he does it all the time.
No,
and Jimmy Greaves is right. They want to bring a player down. And they did it to him and they did it to Gaza. Everywhere he went, they followed him, and their narrative was to bring him down. But when he got on that pitch, Gaza performed.
He did. He did. But look, we will be going into that in the charity stream, which we're doing on the 18th of November. We are going to go talk about these players and who's me and Ellie, and we're going to invite 2 guests on from the chat who want to come in. We're going to put the link in, and we're going to get people to come on, and we're going to debate who was the greatest player of their generation. We'll get through these chats, Ellie, and I think we will end off there.
Yeah.
We are back tomorrow at 1 o'clock because we're going on earlier tomorrow at 1 because of Dave's going on later. Me and Ellie will be doing our news beat, so we're getting all the latest news from Spurs for the game against Brentford on Saturday, and then me and Ellie are doing a new show for every game on a Saturday or Sunday around 11 o'clock. We're going to do it's going to be Thfc, Dermatron, Queen Ellie's pre-match thoughts, where we're going to come in, just give us our pre-match, and we're going to bring some fans on as well to let you have your say as well. So that's something we're going to do.
And then also on my ladies show, Dermot, I'd just like to say this. My ladies show, I'm going to be inviting guests on, male and female, right? So my first debut show was this Tuesday. It was fantastic with Dermot, and it was all about my playing career at Spurs mainly. But we did touch on some of the ladies' football, and we got lots of really positive comments about the ladies' game, and I was really proud to do that show because it really did highlight all the things that I've been thinking about doing, and also it showed that there's not a lot of, in our community, there's a lot of backing for women's football. And I noticed in the chat, and I was so proud of you all, the way you made your comments. So big up everybody that's following all of our channels, not just my show, all of our shows. We got some lovely comments as well, didn't we, privately, Dermot?
We did. We've got a few more in here as well, Ellie. Look, I will go through them. We're going to finish, but we've got that on Tuesdays. We've got Newsbeat 3 days a week now. We're going to do, and then we've got the build-up down to the Marseille game. We've got the build-up to the Brentford game. Then we've got the build-up for the
Bournemouth
game.
Bournemouth game. The Bournemouth game.
Thank you, Ellie.
It's all right.
Brentford,
Bournemouth,
I knew it started with a B. So I wasn't too far. And then we've got the build-up for the Marseille game next Tuesday, Wednesday, which we will be doing a watch-along for that. Hopefully, Ellie will be joining us with that as she's watching the game, and then we're going to have a laugh. So we'll be doing, and that we will be doing a fan show, either the next day, but I don't know when. But there will be a fan show to that as well. what's called me.
Yeah.
Ellie, what's the name of the show, Ellie?
For what?
What's the name
Oh,
for
right.
it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we thought of a few, didn't we? We was going to call it the Thrills and the Spills fan show.
Yeah.
So if you think the team thrilled you, say so. But if you thought that they spilled a lot of passes and spilled everything, done everything wrong,
Yeah.
I think that was a good title, the Thrills and the Spills fan show.
Yeah. But anyway, we'll get through this.
With that one.
Yeah. Well, that will be coming. So look, watch the space.
Spill out all your anger. Spill out all your anger about
And
the team.
please, also, please hit that PayPal. Please donate to the charity stream we're going to do on the 18th. We're getting that up and running. Thumbnails being sorted out this weekend, so we'll be up on YouTube. Please give us give us much, but give little but as much as you can, if you know what I mean. I know times are tough, but even if you put €1 in, it means a lot that we can help some children and families this Christmas who are not who haven't got the help through whatever services are not there. So we can buy them something for the children, and also with adults as well, with the same thing, but which I do have myself, and also with mental health. I think it's important. We need to look after these people, because not everyone has family around them at Christmas, or not everyone has the support around them. There's a lot of families struggling on their own at the moment with their children and not getting help. So if you can, please, it will mean a lot for us. But the 18th mean we'll be doing a 12-hour stream from 12 midday to midnight. So we've got loads of things. We've got David, Irish Hotspot's going to host the quiz. It'll probably be against me. So that should be from Team Dermot against Team Ellie. We're going to show games. We're going to do debates on Tottenham from the past to the present. Who was better? Me and Ellie are going to have our Lloris. Is he the reason Lloris good or bad? I'm going to pick a goalkeeper from my past, and he's going to go with Lloris, and we're going to have a debate. Who was better? We're going to do Pele versus Maradona again, because I'd love to get people's thoughts on that. We're going to do who was better, George Best or Ryan Giggs, because they're both George Best or Paul Gascoigne, both similar players. Both finished careers pretty early in their careers, so and we're going to do a lot about Spurs of the past. And also we're going to rate every manager under Daniel Levy as well.
Yeah, and we're also going to do a show. We're also going to do a show, not just on the managers. We're also going to do a show where fans can tell us their best 11 Spurs players, and we're going to give you 2 substitutes.
Yeah.
So, and we're not going to do 5. 2 substitutes is enough.
Also, if you become a Patreon member, which the link is also on the YouTube channel, whatever PayPal you pick, we as a channel will match that and put that into the charity out of our own pocket as well. So, look, we really want to get this up, really want to make this work. So, please, everyone, whatever you can, even if it's €1 or 50 cents, it doesn't matter. Every little helps, and hopefully. But anyway, let's get through some of these, because I need to go. You need to go. Dave Harris probably, where's all my viewers gone? They're not here. They're over at Dermot's watching him and Ellie come over to me. So I doubt it. Anyway, Pete Graham, who reminds me a bit of Bestie. He did. I said that earlier. We've got Carl Simpson off his head, Dermot. Yes, it was that extra hand that shoved to his forehead. I was thinking something else there, Carl. But it's not past the watershed yet. David Clark, no, I don't, because he ran past Everton players who had shin splints and a slow centre back. You obviously haven't seen Pele. He's miles in front. Yes, I have seen Pele. I've seen videos of him. But Maradona, that was the greatest goal you've ever seen, David. And because you think he cheated in the first game. But look, bring that on with the charity stream. I look forward to having that debate with you, sir. Maradona.
Come on.
Right, we've got Dave Clark. Hannah 61 Legend is also leg end. Okay, fair enough.
61.
We've got Mark. Great show, Dermatron and Ellie. Really needed this after that. No, thank you, Mark. Very kind. Alexander Hilton, Dermo Steak. Thank you. I'm glad you finally coming around I'm finally glad you're coming right. Yeah, I'm finally glad you finally come around to my way of thinking. Yeah, never, David. God bless you. Thank you for coming in. I do love this band. Big up Monaco and Ellie. Great show. Again, look, another brilliant show, guys.
Ellie? I'm only getting Ellie. Nobody's calling me Queen today. They demoted me.
We've got Terry White. Big up Ellie and Dermot. Oh, this football club is never a dull moment. No, it's not. Peter Red. Big up Dermot and Ellie.
Come on.
David Clark, Giggs only turned up to Wales big games. I have no respect for him. No, neither do I, David. We do agree in that. And then,
and plus he played for Man United, who are despised.
The only thing I did say, that goal he scored against Arsenal in the 1999 FA Cup semi-final at Villa Park was the best goal I think I've ever seen in the FA, apart from Ricky's. And then Nick Cook to end all off. Great show. Thank you. So we've got Mama Coates in great show, Coys. Thank you, Mama Coates.
Mama Coates, yes.
I haven't seen you in the chat for a long time, Mama Coates. Welcome back.
Thank you for joining us.
And well, listen, Ellie, it's been another blinding show. Really enjoyed it. We've been going now for nearly 2 hours. We weren't meant to go this long, but people have stuck with it.
Just before you go, Dermot, I just want to address my niece's thing about Ellie Brazil. She's actually out for the whole season. She's got an ACL injury. So that's our new striker at the Spurs ladies, Ellie Brazil. It was my namesake. I was at the match and it was a very bad tackle. Yeah. It should have been a sending off, to tell you the truth, but the referee was lenient, just gave a booking. But she's out for the whole season, which is devastating for the young girl. She's just joined up. And it's basically, it could ruin her career as well, because an ACL is very hard to come back from and be as good a player, you know.
But very anyway, very bad news. It is a shame. Yeah. But listen, we'll get there. We'll be back tomorrow. Mama Coates, I'm always here. Just don't say much. Mama Coates, please don't.
Okay, thank you.
Just in the chat, Mama Coates.
Whenever you want to say a comment, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Yay!
Simpson, Queen of all queens. Where's my Carl? Where's my nice message? You know?
They're not going to give you any. Booze,
I don't. Anyway, in that point, she took. David Clark. Ellie Clark, you forgot about Greaves' goal against Newcastle. His goal against Man United, the greatest goal we've ever seen. Look, Ellie, it's become a bit of a tradition now. We do this at the end of the shows.
Oh, yes.
So, Ellie,
what does everybody want you to do? Or are you going to choose the tune?
Hang on. We've got a few more comments and then we do need to go. I need to go up and see my missus. I do need to go up and see my missus.
She doesn't want to see you. She's probably saying, stay on.
No, she starts sending divorce papers down the stairs to me. David Clark, have a sleep. Think about all the things you got wrong. David, please come on. I'm going to have to debate you, man. It's going to be
wrong.
I am
He's
never
a wrong.
David,
He's a wrong.
Honestly. And then we've got Carl Simpson. Dermot, the king of Thierry Henry. You can fuck off from that. That's all I'm going to say. Listen, before you end the show, get over to David, but let him know where you've come from. Tell him you've come from Thfc till I die. When you go over there, put it in the chat so you know they've all come over from there. Yeah. Ellie, what we're going to sign off with tonight? Just let me
Shall I sign off on Benny Hill?
Coys,
I like that
big
one.
Up, David. Yeah. Hang on. So let me get this right. So let me get that right. Okay, go on then. You're now going to be.
Are you ready to say?
I think you should have matched
today, Ellie.